What's up, everybody? This is the Modern Day Prophet, and welcome to my channel. The universe is not what you think it is. This video is going to be titled, The Universe is Made Up of Half Matter and Half Antimatter. And that's what we're going to talk about today. And I just want y'all to know, me, the Modern Day Prophet, people can ignore me for now, but at some point, people will have to acknowledge the things that I say in this book and the things that I'm saying in this video. It's only a matter of time. You can act like I don't exist for now, but some point you will have to attempt to challenge me, or I'm going to put myself in a position to challenge all of you. And once that happens, I'm going to show everybody in the world that there is nobody who can challenge the things that I'm saying. Nobody. Nobody can challenge me. Anyway, on to the video. So, the universe is made up of half matter and half antimatter. What do I mean by that? Well, let's first think about zeros and ones. Now, a lot of people who probably think they're smart, yeah, I know all about zeros and ones. Yeah, everything is based on zeros and ones. Nah, y'all really don't. So I'm going to really break down what zeros and ones really means. Zeros and ones is really zeros and positive ones and zeros and negative ones. If you have a zero and you have, let's put a zero on a number line, and on one side we have positive, and on the other side we have negative. The positive numbers all refer to matter, creation, stars, atoms. The negative side refers to antimatter, destruction, black holes, and I'm not sure what the opposite of atoms would be, so I'll just keep it black holes for atoms and stars. But that's what everything is based on. The zero is the center, and then you have positive and negative. Positive referring to creation, negative referring to destruction. Now, what people have been referring to as dark matter is actually antimatter. I believe that antimatter is the more accurate term to use as opposed to dark matter. But okay, so how does that apply to the universe? Okay, what that means is in our universe, the universe is half stars and half black holes. This means that for every star that exists, a black hole also exists. So, what is the purpose of the black holes? I've mentioned this in my other videos, but the purpose of the black holes is to remove corrupted stars and star systems. So, when a black hole and a star meets, the black hole doesn't destroy the star. They both destroy each other. And when a new star is formed, a new black hole is formed. So there's always an equal amount of stars and black holes in the universe. So when you hear about a star that's a million times more powerful than the sun, or a billion times more powerful than the sun, now that means there also has to be a black hole that powerful. So let me explain a little let me explain a little bit more, go into it a little deeper as to how this works. Okay, a star is a combination of quantum force and matter. A black hole is a combination of quantum force and antimatter. So let's put this in perspective on the matter side. Now, just to be clear, I know a lot more about stars and atoms than I know about black holes. I know the geometry for atoms and stars. I don't know it for black holes. The only thing I really understand about black holes is their purpose, what they do to a star, and how they look mathematically. I don't really know much more about black holes than that, but I know a lot more about atoms and stars. So, for the creation of an atom or star, there has to be equal parts matter and equal parts quantum force. So let's say we're talking about an oxygen atom or star. Uh, you have 8 parts matter, 8 parts quantum force, and when they combine, you get 8 electrons or 8 planets. It's kind of similar to how animals procreate on our planet. When Sperm programs an egg. Notice I didn't say fertilize, I said program. When sperm programs an egg, a baby is born. So when quantum force programs matter, electrons or planets are formed. So you always have an equal parts matter and equal parts quantum force, and the number of planets or electrons will represent that number of matter or quantum force. This also applies to black holes, but instead of matter, we're talking antimatter. So if you have 8 parts antimatter and 8 parts quantum force, you're going to have a oxygen black hole. Now, I don't know what that looks like. Like I said, I have no idea what a black hole looks like other than it's antimatter combined with quantum force. And hopefully, you know, I'll learn more or will learn more in the future about black holes. This I'm just trying to set the foundation to tell people what to really look for. And hopefully, that's what I'm doing. So that if people are understanding what I'm saying in the video, it'll give people a new starting point to start trying to figure out some of this stuff. The stuff that even I don't understand, to be honest. So that's how the universe breaks down. And that's how, black holes and atoms and stars are formed. Quantum force and matter, or quantum force and antimatter. If you think about it, the zero is the beginning of the quantum force. So another way to look at quantum force is also God's force. God's force is really what combines with the matter. I'm saying quantum force so as not to confuse anybody, but quantum force equals God's force. So if you look at something like our star, the sun is a combination of matter and God's force. This means that the sun is a physical representation of God. It's a very, 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 very small one. There are much, much bigger representations, but it's still a physical representation of God. His force combined with matter. So pretty much the sun can do everything that God would be able to do in terms of creation, configuration, design, and programming. Now, this has even bigger implications, because if our universe is made up of matter and antimatter, half and half, then it also means that the cells in our body are made the same way. The 100 trillion cells in the human body, the cells are also made up of half matter and half antimatter, meaning half atoms and half black holes. That's how we're made up. I explained in my last video that to understand the universe, you got to understand biology and chemistry. This is what I mean. That's what I mean. You can't understand one without understanding the other. And in order to understand one, you have to understand the other. Now, I want to talk a little bit about space travel, because unfortunately, movies like Star Trek and Star Wars have given people the wrong idea of what outer space really is. Okay, we're in a solar system. Now, the chances are, I'm going to tell you the honest to God's truth. I don't think it's possible for us to leave this solar system. I don't even know if it's possible for us to leave the Earth, because we're protected by an electromagnetic field. Now, once we go through that electromagnetic field, we're no longer protected. So I'm not sure what the solar system would do to us without the protection of that electromagnetic field. And then let's say, so I don't even know if we can travel through the solar system, much less travel somewhere else. Now, another thing to think about, what happens once we leave the solar system? Where are we at? I would guess that either we're going to end up in another solar system, or we're going to end up in a black hole. Or, based on the safeguards that I see built into all of this, there could be something waiting for us as soon as we leave the solar system that would ensure that we don't make it very far. So, all of that space travel is probably just, another fairy tale or fable. I'm getting the feeling that we're not going to make it very far in space travel. So our best bet would be to take care of this planet right here. And anyway, if we can't take care of the planet that was made for us and designed for us, how will we be able to take care of another planet that wasn't? It doesn't even make sense. But yeah, I just get the feeling that we wouldn't make it very, very far in space travel, even if we really understood it. I got a feeling that the system is designed to not let us get very far. But so if we can't really travel anywhere, my this is my recommendation. I believe we should focus all of our resources on the closest star system to us, Alpha Centauri. I believe we need to focus all our cameras, all of our technology, and really figure out that star system. If we can figure out Alpha Centauri and primarily Proxima Centauri, I believe it will give us a much better understanding of what we're dealing with as it pertains. Before we can even make it to the universe, we got to make it out the galaxy. We got to make it out the solar system and then make it out the galaxy. And we don't know, like I said, once we make it out the solar system, we really don't know what's waiting for us. Or if we were to leave this galaxy, we really don't know what's waiting for us. And, I do know there are many, many solar systems with oxygen breathing life. But the thing is, none of these solar systems may be configured the same. Every one of these solar systems may be totally different. In the same way that all people have different fingerprints, leopards have different spots, wild dogs all have different markings, it's the same thing up there. I believe that every solar system is different. I don't believe that any are identical. So, that's one more thing to think about. And the last thing I want to talk about in this video, even though it really doesn't have much to do with the universe, I want to talk about AI, because I keep hearing so much about AI and how it's going to be the downfall of humanity. And let me explain something to you about AI. Artificial intelligence will never be able to touch the true intelligence that was designed by what I call the configurator, or what you call God. AI will never be able to touch our brains. Our brains have quantum memory. Quantum memory. We can't create anything with quantum memory. So when you hear about AI is going to bring about our downfall, our destruction, the only way that could happen is if people program AI to do that. AI can't do anything without its programming. So AI is no match for the human brain, no match for the human intellect, and definitely not an intellect like mine. And because whoever designed AI doesn't know the things I know, they would never be able to program AI to speak on the things that I know. So AI would never be able to match me anyway. And I'm sure there are other people that this would apply to in this world. So, AI is not really a big deal to me. My thing is this. If AI really was such a threat, why wouldn't we outlaw it? Why wouldn't we ban it? Why would we risk having something that could bring about our destruction? As somebody who considers himself the most intelligent person in the world, to me, that's highly unintelligent, highly irresponsible, highly stupid. Why would we have just one more thing? I mean, we already have enough that can bring about our demise. Why are we always so insistent on creating things to destroy us? This should tell you the level of intellect that really exists in this world. It is very, very low. If anything, why wouldn't we create things to enhance humanity? I mean, I think about people who are missing body parts, and how I figured, y'all know Cyborg from DC Comics. I figured people would be looking like that by now. But I'm still seeing people with hooks for hands, and there's so much we can do. But all of our intellect and intelligence seems to be focused on our own destruction. And I know I've gotten away from talking about the universe, but I really just wanted to include those things in this video. But yeah, but in terms of going back to the universe, yeah, it's all split. Everything in this universe is balanced between creation and destruction. So just like in our body, how cells can die, that means universes can also die. And that's how they're designed. That's why I said there's a black hole for every single star. Even the biggest stars, there's a black hole the same size. So if anything ever goes corrupt, including the cell itself, it can be destroyed. And a new cell can be created. A new universe can be created. That's how this all works. That's how it all works. That's reality. That's truth, not the fairy tales and the fables that you learn about in religion, or even the biggest lie ever told, the theory of evolution. You have to understand zeros and ones, and as I said specifically in this video, zeros and positive ones and zeros and negative ones. That's what it all comes down to. The number system is more than just, used for our monetary needs or our arithmetic needs. The arithmetic explains every aspect of our existence if you know how to look at the numbers. Every aspect. Every aspect. And while I'm at it, I should mention this. Zeros and ones can also be applied to geometry as circles and lines. Now, I'm talking matter and creation. I don't know how antimatter works in geometry or black holes. I don't know what they look like. But I do know what atoms and stars look like in geometry. And like I said, it's circles and lines. The ones become the lines and the zeros become the circles. And the ones, when they become lines, they form shapes, polygons. So the number 30 would also be a triangle with a circle in the center to the times 3. If you had a 40, which would also be the beryllium atom, in geometry, that would be a 4-point star with 4 circles in the middle, or 4 combined into 1. And that's how that works from math to geometry. And I speak about all of this in the book. Chapter 4, Our Existence Explained Mathematically. Chapter 5, Our Existence Explained Geometrically. Chapter 6, God Explained Mathematically. And Chapter 7, The Myth of Evolution. So I talk about all of this in my book, The Universe is Not What You Think It Is. And like I said, at some point, and this is not a thin book, by the way, at some point, my book will have to be acknowledged. People will have to acknowledge what's in the book, because they're going to have to acknowledge the truth. And either they're going to have to try to challenge it, or they're going to have to try to bury it. But I can promise you this, what I'm saying can't be buried. Nobody will ever be able to bury it. I have brought a truth to this world that nobody else would ever be able to bring or even really understand. I'm hoping I can wake y'all up. I'm hoping I can give y'all the blue pill. Because the truth is, the world isn't a matrix. I'm not in that matrix. I'm the only person outside the matrix. And no, the earth itself, the solar system, the sun, is not a computer simulation. That's reality. The matrix is the deception. You don't know what you're in. You don't understand what any of this is. None of you do. And that is the matrix aspect, because you don't realize what the earth really is. You don't realize what your part to play in all of this really is. And like I said, I'm convinced that right now, modern day man is here to destroy everything. And if you think about AI, think about the nuclear weapons, think about the damage we're doing to the atmosphere, think about the damage we're doing to the oceans, think about the overpopulation. Everything we do seems to be geared towards our own destruction. And for me, being an intelligent person, man, I just don't even know. I don't know how to wake you people up to see this, to see that we have to change, or the earth is going to go up in smoke. And not even just the earth, the entire solar system is going to go up in smoke depending on our future actions. So I'm going to go ahead and end the video there. Like I said, I could really care less if y'all like the video or not. That's on y'all. But I do ask to please share the video. If you have any comments, any agreements, any disagreements, I just ask to please be respectful. I'm not interested in talking to morons and idiots. I only want to talk to the smartest of the smart. Now, honestly, the only people that ever speak up are the morons and idiots. The people who are intelligent must really be cowardly. They must be real cowards, because I never ever, no matter what social media platform is on, whether it's Quora, Facebook, YouTube, I never hear from the intelligent people, or very rarely. On some of my videos, I do hear from very intelligent people. But when it comes to stuff like this, math, science, geometry, astronomy, I never hear from the intelligent people. I guess they don't want to get their world shattered by challenging me, but it would be nice to hear from some smart people from time to time. Anyway, y'all, thank you for watching the video. I love you all. Peace.